I know I get a little nervous with this. My voice carries, but can you hear me back there, or you want me to use the mic? That's the
Have to
one.
use the mic.
Use the mic.
Yep.
Please.
Well, let me ad-lib a little bit right now. I take it, Diane, you told the whole story. And one of the things that she mentioned is about the picture bride. My mother came to the United States also as a picture bride. And my father would always say that being a picture bride and being married that way, why, in America, he said, you fall in love and then get married and it ain't working. In Japan, you get married and then fall in love and it's working. But the truth is, our mothers had to go across the ocean to go home. And I think that's the reason why the marriage sucked. I was such a good husband because my mother-in-law lived only 3 miles from me. But let me go to my script, or I'll be talking here for hours. But again, let me join our Madam President, Diane, in thanking the Adams County Historical Society for really putting this up. And another special thanks that I would like to give is to Walt Chikuma, the son of Sam and Joe Chikuma, and Patricia, who is the daughter of Rose and Dr. Fujisaki. They both chaired this program, and I want to thank both of you for all the time you spent here. Now, Patricia lives in Denver, but since she grew up here in Brighton and went to school here in Brighton, she just feels Brighton is her home and travels from Denver to Brighton. So thank you very much again. And let me tell all of you that I am not a native Coloradoan. I'm one of the victims of the evacuation from California during the Second World War. And I was released in 1942 by a personal character reference endorsed by a college professor, and came to Colorado mainly because of Ralph Carr, who he was the only governor in the Midwestern state that invited Japanese people to Colorado. And he claimed that the evacuation was unconstitutional, and invited all the Japanese, any Japanese that wanted to volunteer to come to Colorado. Because of his truth in the Constitution, his political career ended. He was destined to become the governor. He was destined to become the president of the United States. He was so popular. But because of the truth that he mentioned about the evacuation of the Japanese Americans, why his political career ended. But it was 30 years later that Congress apologized and recognized Governor Carr. And there is a plaque right as you enter the governor's office commending Governor Carr for his wisdom and knowing the Constitution of the United States. So, as I've always mentioned, in this great United States, the wrong is always turned right, but it takes time. It just takes a lot of time, but you just gotta be patient. Okay, I was asked to speak about the pioneers of the farmers here in Colorado. So, even though I was not a Coloradoan, I know much of the history of Colorado. So let me start talking about my friends here in Colorado. Just so that this is truly a blessed excuse. I'm 90 years old, getting absent-minded. I can't hear, but I refuse to put a hearing aid because my marriage is much better without a hearing aid. and
Maybe it was.
Then thanks to Dr. Fair, my eyesight is good. Even though I'm not a native of Colorado, I know most of the Japanese people who pioneered agriculture in Adams County. And Skip, I'm going to just hold it to the people I know in Adams County. There's so many people north in Fort Lupton and Weld County, but I know that as soon as I mention names, it's dangerous because you know that you leave somebody off who were truly a pioneer. But let me mention some of the names who I know of that truly were pioneers in agriculture here in Adams County, contributing greatly towards the economics of Adams County. Let me first start with the Matsunaga family. I heard they were one of the first. And George Matsunaga was the first president of the Brighton Japanese American Association. And Jess, his younger brother, was an outstanding farmer here in Adams County. And then they both retired. George was a pharmacist, and Jesse was a farmer. And there was one more brother that was also in the pharmaceutical company. Then next I hear that, and were personal friends of mine, were the Sakaguchi family. Kei Sakaguchi was a personal friend, and he was the oldest of the Sakaguchi family, and kept it going. The Sakaguchi family, there were 10 children in the Sakaguchi family. 6 boys and 4 girls, if I'm not mistaken. And can you imagine, out of the 6 boys, 5 boys volunteered into the U.S. Army, fighting in the 442nd Infantry. And the 4 girls and Kay stayed home and ran the farm. And one of the daughters of the Sakaguchi family is named Fusaye, I think. They all call her Fudge. And her maiden name, she's a Tashiro. She married Mike Tashiro, but her maiden name was Sakaguchi. And she is 87 years old.
97.
97. She's limp. I'm glad I could read lips. She is 97 years old. I can't hardly believe it. And I talked to her yesterday to get some information of the history of the Sakaguchi family. And I thought she would be here today, but Naomi says she's a little tired. Okay, and then next that's close to me is the Tashiro family. Mike was the oldest of the family, and he farmed here for I don't know how many years. They were really pioneers of growing, especially growing cabbage and cantaloupes here in Adams County. And then when he got smart and got out of farming, he started the Terrace Inn. And everybody knows the Terrace Inn. He had what's called the Terrace Hamburger, and probably one of the most popular restaurants. Hi. Even though you're late, welcome. Oh, it's your fault. Oh, incidentally, Madam President Diane, she's a Tashiro. Her father was the youngest of the Tashiro family, Sam Tashiro. And so she's really a heritage of the pioneer family. And then next name that comes to my mind is Tochihara. And they had a big family too. But my close friend was Jim. And he, after his farming career, he went into the body and fender business. And he passed away early in life, although he was, I believe, in his 80s. But I miss him dearly. The boys were Tom, Jim, and Sam. And Sam moved to California. And he was also in the body and fender business in California. Then I hear one of the early pioneers here were the Morimitsu family. And they live on, I think it was 132nd Avenue. They had 80 acres. And they had all girls. I think there were 3 boys. Jack Morimitsu, I went to school with. We were in the same class. And he became a professional man, and he became a dentist and practiced dentistry in Colorado Springs, I believe. But the Morimitsu family, after the girls all got married, well, there was nobody to work on the farm, and the girls did all the work. And so most of the family moved out, but there is the daughter-in-law, what was the oldest son's name? But his wife is living there on the farm, and Dave Petracco leases that farm from them. Then the other name that is very familiar here as a pioneer was the Chikuma family. That is Walter's father's father and mother, if I'm not mistaken. And they were just across into Weld County, but they were that whole family was so active in Adams County and in Brighton that I'm including them in the Adams County, in the Brighton area. They still own the farm north of Brighton, very valuable farm, but there really is only one heir left, if I'm not mistaken, of the Chikuma family. 2? Oh yeah, the daughter and the son, that's right. And in the Chikuma family, to refresh your memory, there was a dentist called John Chikuma that was very respected here in the area, and he retired, and I forgot, in fact, he's my dentist now, but I forgot that what the practice and his pardon?
Earhart?
Earhart, yes, Dr. Earhart, that's right. And then there was another old timer, the Mizunaga family, Walt was an old timer here. And they're all gone, aren't they, Walt?
You know, my mom is a Mizunaga.
Oh yeah, your mother, Jill, with her maiden name was a Mizunaga.
She's 97 also.
That's right, 97 years old. Yeah, that's right. And then there was a Sato family, and the one that I can remember is Ken Horiuchi and his wife Shirley. His wife Shirley, maiden name is Sato. And Bill Sato, who was Shirley's older brother, I went to school with. And he graduated the same time I did. But he passed away at a very young age. And then there is this family, Horiuchi family. And everybody knows the Horiuchi family. Ken and Egel and Shirley is still here. And everybody, I'm sure, knows Seiji Horiuchi, who was a state representative and could have been the governor of the state of Colorado if he stayed in politics. But he had an accident where his car fell into the ditch, and he untimely also passed away. And there's the Maratha family, and they're all gone. Tagas and Oscar Maratha. And then the Imatani family, they were real pioneers. And Diane's grandma, Helen, is the only surviving Imatani. And when you believe it, she's 105 years old. And I wanted to go see her to get the history that she knows about. But Diane told me that there's about 2 hours in the afternoon that she's alert, and I couldn't find those 2 hours, so I had to go. But she is just still amazing, and she was my neighbor. Her married name is Okada, Helen Okada, but her maiden name is Iwatani, and everybody probably knows Jimmy Iwatani. He started farming as a neighbor across from where I was farming, and he really grew a lot of cantaloupes, and was really known to grow good cantaloupes. He and Don Tanabe here in Hazeltine, which was the Tanaka family, and incidentally, Jimmy Iwatani is my wife's uncle, and so she spent some time helping and working there on the farm right across the fence from me, and that's where I noticed this beautiful young girl out there swinging the hoe. And I think you all remember after Jimmy then promoted himself and bought a pickling company where they salted pickles, and this was in Henderson, and he called it the Henderson Pickle Company. And then this next family were not farmers. Katagini family. They were not farmers. They were in Hazeltine, had a gas station, and sold Japanese food. And they had 3 daughters. Amy Katagiri, well, she married John Shikuba, and she was my classmate in school, and became outstanding people here in Brighton. And there was Amy, Fumi, and Mommy. And Fumi was in Fort Collins, and she passed away. And Mommy was in San Francisco, was happily married, but she also passed away. So there's no more Katagiris left. Then there was the Tanaka family. And if you know Don Tanabe, Don Tanabe's wife is Rose. And Rose was a Tanaka, right next door. So, but Rose is still living in
Inglewood.
it's in Inglewood. How is she doing, Mom?
She's got dementia pretty bad.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, once in a while she's alert. Most of the time she's kind of out of it.
But so that's the Tanaka family that Don Tanabe took over after he married Rose. Then there is the Shibao family that's well known here. And Tom Shibao became my brother-in-law after my sister-in-law Mary, who was married to my brother Harry, that passed away at a young time. So I'll open it for questions. I'm sure I missed somebody, but farming has changed very much here, where there were literally hundreds of small farmers here. Today there's only 2 survivors, the Petrocco family and the Sakata family. There's the only 2 farmers left anymore here. So, again, thank you, Skip, for recognizing the Japanese pioneers of this county. Or before I close up, is there anything I left out from any questions from the crowd? Very good. Then thank you again, Patricia and Walt, for taking over this project, and thank you, Skip, for serving on the board. I knew Skip when he was the tax assessor, and I had to shoo him out every year. Thank you again, Skip, for all you do.